California. All right, everyone. Welcome back to our QFIT mobility class. We have the sun is out in Oregon. Oh, that's awesome, Cassidy. At least you guys got some sun instead of all the snow coming down. From here, well, at least over here, we have Tahoe in Northern California. So I know they have a lot of snow right now. So my goal is to get out there at least once before the snow goes away and see if I can do a quick like snowboarding trip, but we'll see. So as I mentioned before, we're going to do some back today, and then we'll hit some hips here. So we'll start off by warming up the back. So I'll keep my arms to my side, and we'll just start off with some torso rotations like this. So I'm just moving left and right. So if you joined us last week, we dedicated the entire class to shoulders. And I thought this week we would split it a little bit more full body, but we'll focus a little bit more onto the back and then the hips. And the next week, I'll probably emphasize something a bit more too, maybe like the neck or ankles. So if you have any, what am I thinking of? If you would like to see something in class in the future, you can put that in the chat box, and I do take requests. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. So if you have something specific you want to work on the next week's class, feel free to drop that into the chat box before class, and I'll definitely take that into consideration for our next classes. And relax. All right. So first exercise here is called a good morning. So two ways you can do this. You can have your hands across the shoulders, or you can have your hands behind the head. So if you have the hands across shoulders, it looks like this. And then of course, hands behind the head or right here. And what I'm focusing on is keeping a flat spine, and I'm going to be bending at my hip. So it looks like this. And I'll go ahead and lower the camera just so you see what my hip is doing here. So basically what I'm trying to do is if I have my hands here, keeping the back flat, I'm going to push the hip back. This is the end position, and this is the start. Now, if you'd like to go into the second progression, hands are going to be behind the head like this, and I'm just going to hinge. So when you're ready, go ahead and try this out. We're just doing a hip hinge right now, or as they call it, a good morning. You can do this with your hands across the shoulders. You can do this with the hands behind the head. What I'm looking for here is I want you all to bend at your hip joint. So I want you to imagine you have that hip, you're pushing it back. As you do so, the torso hinges forward like a door hinge. And doing our best to keep our back flat. Nice work. Let's do this a couple more times. Continue that breathing pattern. Inhale, exhale, two more. One more. And relax. Good work, everyone. Awesome. Let's get into a windmill here. So for this one, my feet are about shoulder width apart. And how this one works is one arm is going to be reaching down to the floor while the other one reaches up. I apologize for my camera angle today. But if you've taken my class, you've seen this one before. One arm goes down like this and the other one stays up here. And we're just going to hold this position right here. So I'm just going to hold real quick. And as we do so, I'm just going to give you a little bit of feedback here. The legs, we are trying to keep those somewhat straight. You can have a slight knee bend, but really it's coming from your hips. Remember today's class, we're trying to focus on the hip and the back. So if you are bending at your hip, you'll definitely feel that stretch into the hamstrings, hips, and lower back. And we'll slowly go ahead and bring it back to the start position, and then we'll go ahead and switch sides. So once again, one arm reaches up for the sky, this arm stays down here. And then I'm bending at my hip right now. So all I'm doing is bending at the hip, trying to keep my back as flat as I can. I'm reaching for the floor with one hand, and then the other hand stays up to the sky, and I hold. Once again, trying to keep those legs somewhat straight if you can. And slowly come on up. Nice work, everyone. let's go ahead and get into our dynamic version of this one here. So how this one works is same stance, my feet are about shoulder width apart, arm is gonna be out to my side here. What's gonna happen is my goal is to try to keep my back flat and using the hips. So as I do this motion, really all I wanna see is the hip moving up. And what I don't wanna see is too much of flexion of our spine. So try to keep that back as flat as you can. This is gonna be alternating windmill. So we're gonna bring our arms to the side. Opposite hand is gonna reach for the opposite foot like that. I slowly switch and repeat. So when you're ready. Once again, take your time on this one here. Bending at our hip, trying to keep that back as flat as we can. You'll notice that in order to reach or get close to that shin or ankle and keep the back flat, you have to kind of rotate the torso. You may look a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. Let's do 2 more of these. One more. And relax. Woo. Nice job, everyone. All right, so for these next few, we're gonna be moving onto the floor. So the first one we're gonna be doing is a half kneeling stretch here, and we're gonna add some rotation to it today as well. So if you need a pillow you like to sit onto your knee, you can go ahead and grab one right now. But this is pretty much what we're gonna be at for this stretch here. So half kneeling position here, we're trying to target this hip flexor, which is the front part of my leg here, keeping my torso neutral. So just like a good morning, right? And everything that we've been doing, neutral spine. We're just gonna shift the entire body forward, slowly bring it back. And then we're just gonna repeat nice and slow on one side. Nice work, everyone. Taking deep breaths in and out. We're gonna bring it forward and hold. So right now my left leg is down, so it depends on which side you started with. But if my left leg is down, what I'm gonna try now is with this left arm, it's gonna come around and I'm gonna reach for the opposite side. So from a front view, I'm just reaching to the side like this. And we'll slowly relax. Great work. We're gonna stay in the same position here. We're just gonna add in some rotation now. So we're also gonna get hip and spine. So with this one here, if the leg, so this is my right side, my right leg is up here. This arm is gonna go inside of the knee like this. So it's gonna act as an anchor. And while this is holding here, other arm rotates open and out. Go ahead and give this a shot and I'll give you some feedback right now. The leg that's down, that's the side I'm facing, by the way. So if this is my left leg, it's down. I am actually facing this direction and I'm holding here. This adds in a bit more to the spine as well, especially when you are able to just open up, targeting that mid back. We're about to do the exact same thing, but now just looking at the other side. So we're gonna go back to the start position. All right, so this arm is now gonna go on the outer part of this outside leg. So it's an anchor once again. And then this arm rotates out and we're gonna hold. So kind of imagine you are holding onto that outer part of that leg to keep it stable. And that opposite arm reaches and I'm trying to look back. And slowly bring it back to the center. Nice work, everyone. We're about to do that whole routine now, just on the other side. So we're just going to flip it and switch right there. And let's see if I can angle my camera up better. So I've now switched legs here, and I'm gonna do the first thing is keep my torso neutral, and I'm just gonna shift forward and back. Once again, the target area is gonna be this hip flexor here. And take it slow. You may have to use a pillow onto your knee if needed. For all you California residents, they're the plan is to open up Disneyland, I think, by April 1st. Everything is April 1st. And, I always, whenever I see all these, concert venues and theme parks planning on opening up by April 1st, I keep thinking in my head, if this is an April Fool's joke, I'm going to laugh. I will laugh. But I'll be very disappointed. Everything's opening up April 1st. So if you're a Disneyland person, check your calendars. We're going to bring it forward and hold. This is my right leg that's down, right? Right arm goes over and hold. I never knew what those stickers were for until like a year ago. If you ever see cars drive around, they have like that AP on it. It's like that sticker. I didn't know what that was for. I thought that was a brand. But apparently you're an annual pass holder. And slowly relax, bring it back to the center. Great work. We're going to finish off with the rotation per side. So this one here, arm goes inside the knee, right? So this is my anchor here. This arm is going to go over, and I'm trying to look. If this is the leg that's down, I'm trying to look in that direction. And just open. Taking deep breaths in and out. Deep breathing. And bring it back to the center. Nice work, everyone. We're about to switch sides here. So same thing. So now this arm gets outside of that leg to anchor. This arm is going to rotate and do your best to try to open up. So once again, today we are focusing on hips and our back. Right now, this is not only getting the hips engaged, but also the spine, specifically the mid-spine, thoracic spine. Before you leave today, if you have any requests or if you enjoyed what we did today, let me know in the comments so that way I can plan out for next week's class. I think that one's going to be a single focus class though. But I can always throw something new in there. And relax. Nice work, everyone. Last but not least, let's finish off with our 90-90 drill. This is going to finish off the hip, and then also you're going to get the lower back engaged as well. So how this one works. It's in the name 90-90. Actually, let me move my camera a little bit more. You're going to lay onto the floor. One leg is going to be bent 90 degrees, while the other one is bent 90 degrees in the opposite direction. So the starting position looks like this. Choose which leg you'd like to be bent. This one is externally rotated. This one is internally rotated. It's just 90 degrees here and then 90 degrees there. Your hands are going to be behind you at first, just to kind of help you, get yourself set up. So if you start here, try to move your legs. And then, of course, if I'm leaning back here, try to shift your torso and your body forward in the center as much as you can. Let's hang out here for a second. This is called the 90-90 drill, as in the name word 90-90 degrees. Great one for hip function, hip health. So if you notice that your hips are always tight and you do a lot of stretching, but you feel maybe the stretching is not really doing much, try actually moving in ranges of motion with your hip joint. That might be a game changer. From here, I'm going to switch over to the other side. So just watch if you need to. I'm trying to keep my heels in the same position. Opposite side. So when you're ready, go ahead and give it a shot. Once again, my hands are behind my body, trying to help keep me stable in the center. And then for the next 30 seconds, we're gonna go side to side. So your goal is just to keep those heels still, and we're just gonna move side to side like this. I'll hold for a quick second, and then I'll switch. And then if you really want to challenge the hips, you can bring your hands to the center to kind of do the snow hands. This requires pretty much the most control of your hips. So you may be mobile, maybe flexible, I should say. Meaning you can touch your toes, do all that fun stuff at a party. But can you actually move and recruit those muscles surrounding the joints in those specific areas, right? That's a whole different ballgame. This is a good one to do so. We're gonna do this for about 10 more seconds. I keep moving forward towards the camera. Let's do that one more time. Try to get around one more time. Nice work, everyone. Let's get into our Indian style position here to sit. And that was it for our QFIT mobility class for today, everyone. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any requests or any feedback for next week's class, please leave them in the chat. And I will see you all next Thursday. Great job, everyone. No worries. Thanks. Thanks, Deborah. Thanks, Melissa. All right, Lynn. Glad you enjoyed it.